Yeah,
Let's bring in our guest, still with us, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor Bob Bianchi, still with us. Bob, so according to his earlier testimony, he said about 24 hours in, he realized that Kevin Albert was one of their best detectives. He's related, of course, he's the brother of Brian Albert on the lawn on which it happened. So they recused themselves, the Canton police did, from the case. State police took over. I'm sure you've been involved in these types of situations. Can that create that kind of confusion, or should the handoff be a little bit more sort of controlled?
Yeah, none of this justifies the sloppy, scientifically unreliable, investigatively infirmed process of putting biological blood evidence into solo cups unsecured, which I didn't know. I didn't know that they didn't even secure the cup, and then put it in a brown paper bag. They don't know where they're coming from. But I'll go one step further. The prosecution may have gotten away with the idea that, well, a new agency came in, so ask them. But he then editorialized, like he's been doing a lot in his testimony. I don't have a problem with the way it was secured or taken. So it's not so much that the other company came in. The prosecution would have loved if he had stopped right there, but he vouched for that. And at the end of the day, the judge is going to read a jury charge probably to the jury that you could take into consideration a lack of evidence or failure to properly investigate a case. And there's no question about the fact that jurors are sophisticated enough to know that this is just completely inappropriate. It would have been better to have made an explanation as to why under the circumstances they needed to do it. But guys, last point. That doesn't alleviate the fact that somebody's on trial right now, has due process rights, and this investigation is a mess.
It's a mess. I mean, I'm going to agree with that, Bob. But really quickly, as a defense attorney, how much do you have to then refute? It's not your job to present evidence, but do you have to put evidence to refute and say, hey, this is not a good police investigation, it's sloppy, and here's why?
No, I don't think you need to put evidence in to refute it. I think it's a matter of common sense at this point in time. And you don't want to give the prosecution an opportunity to cross-examine a witness that you may put on. The defense is making the points it needs to make right now to create that reasonable doubt and really destroy the credibility of the prosecutor's investigation in the case.
Yeah, that picture does it for me, right there with the blood, alleged blood of Karen Reed in that, right? I mean, John O'Keefe, that's crazy.
Paper bag,
yeah, right
who knows
there,
where it came from.
And then they're like red Solo cups.
Quick question, I just have a little bit of time left here, Bob. There was a point where he says he goes into the house, looks around, doesn't see anything suspicious. Do you think, based on the fact there's a dead body on the lawn, he should have or could have gotten a warrant or search warrant for the house?
I don't know how to say this anymore. First of all, you don't even have to get to the search warrant. You ask for consent. Most of the time, especially with police-related witnesses, they're going to give you consent just so as not to make it look like they did anything that's inappropriate, and then maybe pursue a search warrant after that. To not lock this house down and the witnesses and the evidence and the Ring camera video, whatever the camera video system is all bad investigative work and really nefarious to me.
I thought you were asking me, because I would have expected them to get a warrant, wouldn't you?
I don't know if there was enough for a warrant, but I agree with him. Brian Albert should have had an open door and said, hey, come on in, look around. He was never in here, all those things.
They got rid of the flooring, they got rid of the house, they got rid of the dog. What does that mean?
Got rid of their phones.
Yeah, everything. All right. Thank you, Bob Bianchi, for joining us tonight, as always.
Folks, stick around.